from Bandra, Pankaj Khelkar joins us from Alibag, Vidya is joining us from Versova, and Mustafa is joining us from Gateway of India as well. First, I'm going to go straight across to Mustafa, who's joining us from Gateway of India, only because Gateway of India is at the moment the closest point from Alibag, if you see geographically, if you know Mumbai. So from Alibag, if it's making its way into Mumbai, it perhaps could just hit the Gateway of India area first. Mustafa, what are you picking up in terms of the direction of the cyclonic winds from Alibag? What is the Met Department giving you a direction? You're standing by at Gateway of India. I can see some trees collapsed right behind you on the cars as well. What are you picking up?
These are two stationary cars behind us on which the tree has collapsed. This is just behind CHC towards the St. George Hospital Road. Now this tree is being removed so the road can be cleared. The major concern is this cable wires. If you can see the cable wires here, these cable wires are going to the main road from where a lot of vehicles which are passing at a speed are getting stuck, and there is a likelihood of an accident taking place. Eventually, people don't see it. So these cable wires are such cable wires are hanging around a lot of roads, main roads of Mumbai. We'd like to show you one more incident across the road. If you can see the cable wire hanging right in the middle of the road. There is no visibility. People are driving. They can, especially the motor people and two-wheelers. This can be a very dangerous thing. We have also had to inform the authorities about it. Now they have come out. They are removing the tree from this area, but that tree collapse incidents like this have been reported at multiple locations in Mumbai, and it is good that the Mumbaikars are not venturing out of their house, because this was the uncertain which we were awaiting, that even if the wind speed is not much, even if Mumbai is not in the eye of storm, but the collateral damage due to tree collapse and other things can be much more detrimental.
That's right. Mustafa is getting us all those details. He's standing by at Gateway of India as well. My colleague Sahil Joshi is with us as well. Sahil, if you can tell us what Mumbaikars need to be worried at the moment. Many who we were speaking to, even Rajdeep was speaking to in the previous shows as well, they seem to be anxious, but they're all confined inside their homes at the moment, just waiting for this to pass. Is there any kind of advisory that is coming from the state government for them?
You know, the state government has already issued advisory yesterday and asked them to stay back at home. Almost Mumbai is standstill. In fact, from today onwards, the operation Begin Again was supposed to start, but it did not happen because of the cyclone situation. And when it turned into a severe cyclone, even the rest of the services, the BMC continuously requested people to stay back at home because, in fact, the BMC also shifted more than 10,000 people from the areas which were very close to the sea, as well as those who were living in a dilapidated structures as well. And then they have of course more than 10 teams of NDRF have been placed at various places in Mumbai. The fire brigade teams were asked to be at 6 different beaches in Mumbai so that if someone tries to venture inside the sea, the person can be saved. But continuously, the BMC officials has been giving advisories. In fact, in those areas where it is more likely that they will get hit by the heavy rainfall or the windy situation.
Stay with us right there, Sahil. I'm going to come back to you for the latest updates. I'm also joined by Priyanka Gandhi. She's a resident of Malabar Hill in Mumbai. She lives right there on the sea face, and she's here to bring us all that she can witness from the window at the moment, from the balcony of her home. Priyanka, first up, are you feeling anxious? Have you taken every precaution possible? And what is it that you see outside your window right now, Priyanka?
Thanks, Betty. So we've basically taken every precaution possible. We've charged all our power banks, torches and candles. There's a power cut or something. But as you can see on our terrace, the rods that are holding the net has already fallen down. Our Tata Sky has stopped working, and we've already had a little bit of leakage in the house. Statues from our rooms have fallen and broken. So it's very stressful. Plus, we stay right on the sea. So we're actually very stressed out because of that. And this is probably the worst cyclone Maharashtra has seen in 130 years.
You live right on the sea. If you could pan your camera slightly, whoever's handling your camera for you, can you show us what you can see outside your window? And is the wind quite strong? If you could just show that.
trees are crashing, and it's honestly very scary. It's very, very windy.
Yes.
And we've already had a little bit of leakage in the house itself. Yes. And we've already had like a tree branch broken in our garden, so we're not venturing out at all. And I urge everyone else to not venture out as well. But in case any animals come to people's buildings, I urge them to please give them shelter. If a watchman or something, a cat or dog just come to the building, give them shelter. Because even we have cats shelter in our garden. So I urge other people to as well.
And what about the trees? Are there a lot of trees getting uprooted? What about the cars that are parked downstairs? Is there a lot of damage to private property that you're witnessing when you look out of your window, Priyanka?
Yes, so the trees, it looks like it's being uprooted. At least one from our garden is, the smaller trees have been uprooted already. It's very scary, and we park the cars inside the garage because when they're outside, then there will be a lot of problems.
All right, Priyanka, thank you so much for joining us and with your inputs. You stay safe. And of course, Cyclone Nisarg has made a landfall in Alibag. That was Priyanka Gandhi joining us from Malabar Hill, right on the sea. She was showing us the visuals right outside her window as well. Sahil Joshi also with us. Sahil, Mumbai is witnessing a double whammy for sure. Coronavirus pandemic on one side. You've got Cyclone Nisarg on the other side. We do know that the heavy rainfall in Mumbai also makes pretty much the same amount of impact. But this time, would you say that the intensity is much, much higher than an average heavy rainfall day in Mumbai? Sahil will join us in just about a bit, but visuals coming in there from Maximum City, Mumbai. You've got all those visuals flashing across your screens. We're getting you coast-to-coast coverage right here on India Today. Cyclone Nisarg making a landfall in Maharashtra's Alibag. Cyclone been categorized as severe cyclonic storm. The cyclone has made a landfall at about 1 p.m. The worst ever cyclone to hit the city in 129 years. Rains have lashed across the city in Mumbai. Strong winds have led to trees being uprooted, as some of our guests who joined us from their homes were just showing us when they panned outside the windows of their homes as well. In some cases, there is damage being done to the vehicles as well. In fact, I just got a message from someone who even says that Mumbai does not even have car park. So all the cars are being parked on the road, and even the road is unable to take all the cars at one point of time. So it's a bit of a mess when you see the residential areas in Mumbai. While South Mumbai still has space, the suburban areas are still quite chock-a-block at the moment. So it's going to be an uphill task as far as draining the water out is concerned, in case there is water logging as well. Section 144 has now been imposed across the city of Mumbai. The movement of people has been restricted at the beaches in Mumbai. So in Juhu, in Versova, all the areas where there's a beach, or Marine Drive for that matter, which is a very known promenade, or Worli Sea Face, which is a known promenade, you cannot be walking right there if you live in Mumbai. Vehicular movement is allowed on the Bandra Worli ceiling until the cyclone subsides, and people living in low-lying areas, slums, shanties have been moved to safer locations. 8 NDRF teams have been deployed in the city as well. It's a massive double whammy. Sahil is now joining us. Sahil, it's a massive double whammy coming in from Mumbai that is currently the most affected by the coronavirus outbreak, with over 41,000 cases so far being put on high alert because of these cyclonic storms as well. How long would you see the impact of this last? What is the Met Department saying? When is Mumbai going to get calm all over again? When is all this going to end for Mumbai? All right, let's get Sahil re-established on the broadcast once more. My colleague Tanushree is joining us from Vashi Bridge at Navi Mumbai. Let's take a look at what's going on over there.
At around 1:30 p.m., Cyclone Nisarg made a landfall at Alibag in Maharashtra, and it's about 3 right now in the afternoon, and we are at Vashi Bridge in Mumbai. And as you can see, the wind speed is increasing, and according to the IMD, the wind speed right now is about 100 kilometers per hour to 110 kilometers per hour. Now, this kind of a wind speed of a cyclonic storm is something which Mumbai city, the maximum city, is not at all used to. The usual rains, the usual monsoons which Mumbai experiences, the wind speed at that point of time, at its worst, absolute worst, is maximum 30 to 40 kilometers per hour. But right now, the wind speed we are experiencing in the city is 100 to 110 kilometers per hour, and that is now going to be the worrisome situation, because this kind of a wind speed has the ability to uproot trees, bring down electricity wires. So far, Mumbai's cyclone Nisarg has spared Mumbai from its worst fallout, and we hope it remains the same. The situation doesn't, worsen off on the ground, but as of now, the wind speed is basically increasing with every passing minute.
All right, my colleague Akshita Nandgopal is now joining us from the newsroom, where she's going to show us the movement of the cyclone, the route of the cyclone as well. And everyone's curious to know this in Mumbai as well. At the moment, it's made a landfall in Alibag. For the next 2 hours, it will continue the landfall in Alibag. And what next? Akshita, what are you picking up? What is the route? Which part of the city, Mumbai, is it going to hit next?
Let's now get you some real-time information on the movement and the trajectory of this cyclone. As it stands at 3 p.m. right now, you can see that the eye of the storm, which is indicated right here in this particular map, and let me zoom in further for you to see it here, in Mumbai and around Maharashtra is where it is centered right now. It made landfall at about 1 p.m. 2 hours on, the heavy rain continues in Maharashtra. Let me show you what the forecast is of how the cyclone is now going to also be moving upward towards southern Gujarat. If I now change the time from 3 p.m. to, let's say, about 4 p.m. and also at 5 p.m., you will see that there is a change then immediately of how it's moved. It also then weakens further. You can see that the parts which are highlighted here, which are more intense, that then weakens, which means there'll be lesser rainfall. The wind speed also comes down. So in about 1 hour from now, so at 4 p.m., we can expect that things will drastically reduce with regards to the effect of the cyclone itself. So you can see the particular movement at this point. And let me just also highlight for you with regards to which cities are the worst affected. Mumbai at this point, you can see, is written here. You also got Nashik, rain happening. Alibag along the same area is where you can see that there is rain and heavy wind speeds. This will now move up. It will move into Gujarat, and that's where Surat as well as several other parts around will get affected, and the heavy rain will start there. As it is at this point, we know that there is rains there, but this will keep moving, which means that the effect will be felt here in about 1 or 2 hours from now. So besides that, also what we can tell you is that the particular cyclone, as it keeps moving, and let me show you a few hours from now. So let's take this to about 6 or 5 p.m. even. You can see that it further moves interior into the land, but at the same time also weakens. So we're counting on the fact that perhaps the worst of the cyclone is over. And after this, the rains will reduce, so will the wind speed. We're closely tracking the movement of the cyclone here as it's further moving into land, but it is also weakening.
All right, my colleague Sahil Joshi is now joining us from Mumbai. He's got some latest updates. Sahil, I believe you've got some sort of good news coming in for the Mumbaikars who are watching our broadcast as well. I'm going to throw straight across to you to get our viewers up to speed with what that is.
There is a prediction by the SkyMet at this point of time. I'm seeing a social media tweet by Mahesh Palawat. He's a Vice President Meteorology and Climate Change at SkyMet Weather. And they are claiming is that, the rains are going to continue until tonight, but the winds will not exceed 50 kmph. So, of course, there will be a rain. And if it rains like this, the way it is right now, I'm sure that if there is a high tide in the night and if the rains doesn't stop, the low-lying areas might see some kind of a flooding. But because the wind speed is not much, as you can see that it's continuously raining, it's a proper monsoon rain kind of a situation in Mumbai when it rains heavily. But the wind speed, as you can see, is not as much as it has been predicted at this point of time. We are talking at around 320 when Mumbai was supposed to get more than 100 and 110 kmph speed rain. But the rain speed is not much, wind speed is not much. So that is the reason why the destruction with respect to uprooting of the slums and areas like where at the MMRDA ground where those COVID centers were created, those might be safe at this point of time. But still, I would suggest that let's wait, because the BMC has not removed the red alert from Mumbai. So that's why the people need to be staying inside at this point of time. As you can see here, this is a panoramic view of Mumbai. We can see that it's continuously raining at this point of time. The vehicular traffic on the road is almost standstill, because now the rains have picked up, and if it rains like this continuously till night, there is a high tide in the night today. So obviously there is a possibility of flooding or we can say waterlogging in the low-lying areas, and that can create problem in those areas, and that's why people need to be careful. So even if the SkyMet right now has said
what about the fishing areas as well, Sahil? There is Machhimar Nagar, there is Sassoon Dock, there are so many other small fishing areas all across Mumbai, some of them being slums as well. How are they coping up with this? I believe some of them were even evacuated. Is there any kind of damage which has been done to their private property as well?
That's what the BMC commissioner told us in the morning when I spoke to him in the afternoon at around 1 o'clock. The BMC went on a evacuation drive, specifically at the areas which are very close to the beaches in Mumbai. At some of the areas which you mentioned, that is Machhimar Nagar, the Mahim Machhimar Colony, or the Versova Kolivada or Varli Kolivada. From there, the people who are exactly staying at the seafront were moved back or shifted to nearby transit camps, so that they should not get hit by the high waves or the falling rain. But nearly 10,000 people, that's what the BMC claimed, were evacuated from such places. Also from the dilapidated structures across Mumbai, which is a normal course in Mumbai, that dilapidated structures where the people from the dilapidated structures are moved from their houses. But as I mentioned before, again, let me show you the rain right now. It's quite raining here at this point of time in Mumbai. Continue like this, then by evening or by late night, we might see some kind of a flooding or the waterlogging in low-lying areas.
All right, Sahil, continue to stay with us. My colleague Mustafa Sheikh is also joining us from Mumbai. Mustafa, what Sahil was mentioning, he was quoting Mahesh Palawat's tweet where he's put out a tweet saying that threat for Mumbai seems to almost be over, and the winds are not going to exceed 50 kilometers per hour as well. He is the Vice President at SkyMet, and he's put out this, but Mumbai still cannot afford to let go of their reins, and they need to be bracing themselves in case anything untoward really takes place. I'm going to throw straight across to you, Mustafa, to bring us up to speed with whether or not situation seems to be calm right where you're standing in Mumbai.
Yes, Sati, we are just traveling in and around the town areas of Mumbai. What we can see is a lot of tree collapse incidences have taken place. Apart from that, there is continuous rainfall and wind blowing consistently. As Sahil was mentioning that first, that Alibag being the eye of storm and Mumbai being the peripheral area of the storm, there is heavy rainfall likely, and that is one of the warning which is of the concern, because at 10:30 p.m. tonight there will be a high tide in the sea, Caribbean Sea, and that can lead to waterlogging at a lot of places in Mumbai. Apart from that, only after the rain stops and the wind, then we'll have a better update as to what is the damage which has been done by the storm in and around the areas of Mumbai. As far as we are concerned now, if you are anywhere out in Mumbai, you have to be very, very careful of the trees. That has been the main concern, and old buildings, windows, the scaffolding, there is some repair work going on in any of the buildings. These are the places which people have to be away from, because that has been a concern, and it is proving right as far as the Mumbai is concerned with regards to the tree falling incident. But how much of the damage has been done, because Mumbai didn't really see that kind of a wind speed, but what was being the real scenario we'll only know after once the rain stops and things are under control.
Hold on right there. Sahil Joshi is also with us. Sahil, I just want to get a sense. on a regular monsoon season, you have heavy rainfall in Mumbai, your windows end up rattling, winds are extremely strong as well. Is this experience any different from a regular monsoon, or is this far worse? If you could make a comparison.
No, right now I would just say that it's a heavy monsoon. That's what I can correlate it with, because this is what happens in the heavy monsoon season in Mumbai.
Okay, we are getting some problem with Sahil Joshi's connection, requesting the producers to re-establish that connection. But like he was saying, that this is just exactly like a heavy monsoon that Mumbai is witnessing, which means that there's nothing new that Mumbai is facing at the moment. This is what Mumbai is already used to. So, and also the good news coming in from SkyMet is that the landfall is almost over, and now it is going on a bit of a downfall, which means the situation is going to be calmer going forward. But Mumbai still needs to brace itself for this cyclone, and the Maharashtra government advisory is still in place at the moment. Red alert has been sounded off. 144 section has been imposed across the city. Movement of people has been restricted at the beaches as well. As you can see from the visuals that are coming in, these are visuals that are coming in from Colaba, right where you can see Alibag from, and you can see how rains have lashed the city. These visuals now on your screens show how private property, cars have been disrupted. They've been damaged because some trees have fallen off as well on the back of these strong winds in Mumbai. For our viewers who have just tuned in, Cyclone Nisarg has hit Mumbai, the worst ever cyclone to hit the city in 129 years. Rains have lashed the city. Strong winds have led to trees being uprooted, as you can see from the visuals that are coming in as well. Vehicles have been damaged. Just take a look. Those scooters that you see, the rickshaw that you see a little while back, that white car that you saw, all of those damaged because of the trees falling all over them as well. For the moment, for our viewers, Section 144 still remains to be imposed across the city. Movement of people restricted at beaches. And anyway, the city is in a lockdown, given that the coronavirus cases are extremely high in Mumbai. No vehicular movement is allowed on the Bandra-Worli ceiling until the cyclone subsides. The people who are living in low-lying areas, in the slums, in the shanties, they've been moved to safer locations, and 8 NDRF teams have been deployed in the city. This seems to be a double whammy for Mumbai, that is currently the worst affected by the coronavirus outbreak, with over 41,000 cases so far, and is on high alert. And Mahesh Palawat, he joins us, Vice President of the Met Department of SkyMet Weather. Mahesh Palawat, just a while back, you brought a smile on everyone's faces when you put out that tweet. We also flashed your tweet across our screens at the moment, where you said the worst is over and the cyclone seems to be subsiding. If you could tell us what your predictions really look like. The eye of Cyclone Nisarga, has that completed the landfall, and now it is that Mumbaikars do not have much to worry about? Mahesh Palawat?
Yeah, you are right. The eye of cyclone has made a landfall, and
Yes.
it has completed its landfall. And now, as we were expecting it to reach Mumbai, but landfall is south of Mumbai over Raigad area. That's why now the cyclone is weakening, and it will take another 2 to 3 hours for rains to subside over Raigad area, but Mumbai will not see much heavy rain. Only southern suburbs may get moderate showers with wind speed of 30 to 40 km per hour, not exceeding this. So we can say worst is over for Mumbai, but interior parts of Maharashtra are going to get good rain and thunder shower activities, particularly North Madhya Maharashtra, Nasik, Pune and Ahmednagar, Jalgaon area. But the threat of heavy rain or destruction is ruled out now over those areas also.
Oh, that's fantastic. So now what you're saying is that the threat for Mumbai is almost over. So the residents of Mumbai, whether they're living in South Mumbai, North Mumbai, anywhere where they're living, they can finally take a sigh of relief at the moment because now it is going to start subsiding, Mahesh.
Yeah, now wind speed will not exceed 50 km per hour, and this is the normal wind speed during thunder shower, which has been experienced by these Mumbaikars many times during the monsoon season also. Although heavy rains are also ruled out, but moderate showers, few isolated heavy spells will be there, but waterlogging and flash floods will not be there. So we can say there is a sigh of relief for all over the place for Mumbaikars, and as well as northern districts of Maharashtra, particularly Thane, Dahanu, Kalyan, all these areas will also be safer by this cyclone.
Okay, so that only means one thing, that now the rains that Mumbai is going to be witnessing is business as usual during monsoons in Mumbai. Mumbai is used to witnessing heavy rainfall, so now that the eye of the storm has made a landfall and that process is getting completed, things should get better in Mumbai. Thank you very much, Mahesh Palawat, for joining us with that quick update right there from SkyMet Weather. He's joining us. My colleague Pankaj Khelkar, I'm being told, is joining us from Alibag in Mumbai, where the cyclone made a landfall and it's almost completed its landfall, like we just updated you as well. The whole process is going to be complete in the next 1 hour or so, but it started subsiding. Pankaj, how is it in Alibag at the moment? Alibag literally was where the cyclone made the landfall. Of course, Mumbai was a byproduct of it, but Alibag was where you saw the intensity to be the highest as well. What are you picking up? What do you see around you? Bring our viewers up to speed, Pankaj.
The wind, the speed of the wind and the effect, what I have experienced since last 3 hours is the same. Here you can see the wind, the speed of the wind is same, continuous rain, and the direction of the wind. Although the rain was first somewhat tilted, but now it's almost like slanted rainfall is there, because the speed of the wind is tremendous over here. The trees over here, you can see the way they are shaking. The coconut trees, the end parts of the coconut trees, they have fallen. Some of the huge trees over here where I am standing, those trees have also been uprooted. So it is continuous effect what we have been witnessing. Nothing has subsided over here. The landfall of this Nisarg cyclone that has happened like around 1 or 2 in the afternoon, that is continuing. The process is continuing, the wind is continuing, and the speed of the wind is it might not be increasing, but it is what we have experienced. It is the same which was almost 2 hours ago. It is continuously going on at the same speed. Now what we heard from the Met department, one of the expert of meteorological department, what he has said, that the fall of this cyclone has been completed and now the wind will start subsiding. But
yes, that is
now,
Mahesh Palawat of SkyMet who said that, Pankaj. Pankaj, just want to get a sense, in Alibag, is there any loss to human life at the moment? Any kind of destruction that you see around you of private property as well? Because a lot of people from Mumbai have their homes in Alibag. They've got their villas there as well. And ever since the lockdown, they've confined themselves in Alibag. Are they all well?
See, in Kolivada, that is fishermen's colony in Alibag, what we came to know, that around the rooftops of 200 huts, those rooftops have they have been devastated. Other than that, trees have been uprooted. Whether somebody lost their life or somebody got injured, that we will come to know after the district administration takes the whole purview of what things has happened. But as of now, we haven't heard anything that any person has lost his life. What we could see or what we have heard is that trees getting uprooted, some of the tin sheds blown away, and almost 200 hutments rooftops have been blown away. So these are the things that have happened over here. But apart from that, whole of coastal region, may it be other part of Raigad or somewhere near Alibag towards Mumbai, devastation has happened. But the whole of the evaluation, what all has happened, we will come to know only after the district administration gives us exact figures and numbers and what all has happened. Now NDRF teams are there. They will be put into action once these cyclone subsides and once the winds come to normal.
Do you see people venturing out at all? People seem to have confined themselves into their homes itself in Alibag, because Alibag is at the eye of the storm, and we can see from where you're standing as well, Pankaj, you're barely being able to maintain your balance. The winds are so strong. At the moment, what is your sense of the manner in which the administration has taken care of Alibag too?
See, I would like to show you some more visuals where I am standing.
Yes.
And this is the place government office in Alibag's Koliwada, and here you can see the way the winds are blowing. So the speed of the wind can be, you can judge what is the speed of the wind. But apart from that, the people, you asked that whether people are venturing out. Very few people are venturing out in open. All of the people have confined themselves as per the directions of the district administration that they need to stay indoor, they need to stay in concrete places so that they are safe. So last 2 months we have been hearing that we have to stay indoor so that we are away from coronavirus. But now for this particular day, when this Nisarg cyclone has hit and has had a landfall over in Alibag, people have again been told that they have to stay indoor, and most of the people have listened. They have confined themselves inside, and that is the reason that very few, or might be that no one might have lost his life or her life. Only what we have seen is devastation, trees getting uprooted, some of the tin sheds blown away, and around 200 hutments have also been damaged.
Absolutely. Pankaj, continue to stay with us, and you please stay safe right there. We can see that you're barely being able to maintain your balance because of the heavy winds at Alibag as well. Stay safe right there. Our coast-to-coast coverage and bringing you up to speed with the latest first here on India Today on Cyclone Nisarg. In fact, my colleague India Today's Sahil Joshi also spoke to Iqbal Chahal on what the precautions the city has taken to battle the severe cyclone. This is an India Today exclusive. Listen in.
We are now fully geared up. We have evacuated thousands of people. More than 30,000 people have been evacuated of their own after our appeals. We have cleared people under the places where prospective landslides should take place. We have arranged for the food packets for them quarantine. And plus now, because of COVID, we say that we will not release these people without doing their health screening through our MOHs. So we can do two things in one go. So, plus, we had hundreds of pumps in Mumbai, more than 350 pumps in one place, then 5 mega pumps. We have put all the operators and all the labor and staff required on the site. So if it floods, immediately these pumps will be going on. So that time there's no need to look for labor or to operators for things like that.
All right, we're getting you all the updates, coast-to-coast coverage, first and right here on India Today, from Alibag to Mumbai to across Maharashtra. We'll continue getting you all the updates coming in from the airport as well. All of that right here. But